Hello there, everyone. I'm Dr. Ashab, GP registrar, about to finish my training very shortly, this month to be exact, and I'm going to a new world. Anyway, I just wanted to make this quick video just to have a quick chat about how I prepared for both AKT and SCA together because I passed both of them together in the same month, October 2025, and some people have been asking me how to prepare, how did I do both of them together. So I just wanted to make a quick video because I really feel it's rude if I don't reply to each and all of them. So I'd rather make a video, and if anyone asks, I'll just uh, share the link of the video. I'm lazy in this regard. Anyway, so I'll try to really keep it really short and simple. First of all, I did not pass both of the exams on my first go, so I had to fail. So, first of all, they always say failure is the pillar of success, but I will not suggest in the exams because obviously we would like to pass on the first go, otherwise, it comes as a huge burden. And secondly, when it came to me that I failed SCA once and AKT twice, and I was at that stage that I was on my second extension, and technically it was supposed to be my last attempt if I wanted to play it safe. So what I did, first of all, I was preparing for SCA and I figured out that technically the clinical knowledge is the same as AKT. It's just you need to explain it in SCA. Suppose any diagnosis, any finding, you have to explain it to the patient. But in one of my previous video on this channel where I explained how I prepared for SCA, I have said that when I was explaining the patients, I was using ChatGPT by giving them prompt that explain the condition for me as a UK patient by GP. So when I was reading the explanation of a condition, including the management, it kind of helped me as a GP as well, because in that way I knew that why it is happening and also what medication to use, number one. Number two, in terms of clinical knowledge, I figured that when I was preparing for SCA system wise, I was also reading about that from CKS. So it kind of helped me in terms of clinical knowledge. And after my SCA was done, my AKT was 2 weeks after the SCA. So in that 2 weeks, technically, I have already read all of the clinical sites from CKS because of my preparation for SCA. So in the last 2 weeks, basically what I did, I used GP self-test and did timed revision test, that is technically a mock, and I tried to do one mock every day. And when I was doing it, uh, I saw the feedbacks and all the wrong answers. I used to take a photo of that and keep it saved somewhere. So later on, maybe before going to bed or the first thing in the morning when I wake up, I was just going through the wrong answers, so that I was just in my brain, I was just kind of revisiting my wrong answers to make sure that I know the answers in future, if that makes sense. In terms of resources, I have done past medicine in my previous two attempts as well. So this time when I was doing the past medicine while prepping for my SCA, it kind of solidified the knowledge for me. And so in short, I basically prepared for SCA and AKT together, and I started my preparation 3 months before my SCA, so almost 3.5 months before my AKT. And how I started was I was doing SCA every day, practicing SCA. And when I was practicing the cases, I was going through the CKs, number one. Number two, I left the weekends and my self-directed study times for doing question banks like past medicine and BMJ on. So BMG on exam is another source that I came to know later on that I did not practice in my first two attempts. So when I was doing BMG on exam, I found it really tricky. The questions are a bit tricky, but at the same time, once I got the hang of them, I felt like it kind of helped me in terms of picking up the questions and answering them quickly in the exam, if that makes sense. So when I was prepping over the weekdays, I made sure no matter how much tired I am, I was practicing every day. And when I was practicing with my group, every case after the practice was done, I was going through CKS for that case, for the knowledge bit, for the clinical bits, and on my self-directed study time, which is on Wednesday, and over the weekends, I was doing question bank. So in my head, I made a plan that how many weekends and self-directed study time I'm going to have, and I kind of how many questions I need to do from the question banks, including past medicine, BMG on exam, and self-test. Now, the most important bit I would like to tell here, I have not spoken about admin and stat at all so far because I wanted to tell it separately. So what did I do for admin and stat? Because previously when I figured in my, especially when I failed the second time in AKT, I did horrible in admin and stat. So this time, basically, I made sure that I am doing admin and stat every weekend. If you remember that I told you that I was doing question banks every weekend, so I made sure that I was going through admin and stat every weekend. Just on the first weekend when all of my preparation started, maybe June, July, August, September, around June, July. So on the first weekend of July, I went through all the admin stuff from past medicine, from self-test. So I went through all of them. And again, I use ChatGPT, I use Google. If I did not understand a concept, I ask them, suppose, what's the difference between sensitivity and positive predictive value, and specificity, negative predictive value. So in order to understand the difference between them, how can I implement it in a consultation? I use ChatGPT. So once the concept was clear in my head, why we use it, once the concept was clear, it really helped me. So after the concept was clear after a dedicated weekend in July, every weekend since then, since my AKT exam, I kind of recapitulated in terms of admin, number one. Number two, in terms of stats, basically, as I mentioned, I again, in one of the weekends in July, I did all the stats, but at the same time, every weekend I used to review them just to make sure that if anything's changed. And for stat, I felt like there are so many things which are quite extensive, but at least there are a few topics I wanted to kind of focus on. Number one, obviously, they will be helpful in my regular practice, like fit note, how long to issue, and when to issue, different kind of forms, like death certificate, medical examiner. Most importantly, the admin stuff in terms of practice management, that is very important, I feel, like global sum, GMS, PMS contracts, and primary prevention, secondary prevention. So these are few stuffs. Basically, when we do any kind of question banks, we will see like it keeps coming up. So I when I started, I just noticed that what are the most important things. I made a note of it and made sure that every weekend I used to go through them. After I had a dedicated weekend in the beginning, I was just revising them every weekend for admin and stat. So to summarize, what happened in short, I prepared for SCA and AKT together by doing the clinical questions from CKS after my practicing every day, doing the question banks on my self-directed study day and weekends, making sure that I did the admin and stat bit properly at least 3 months before, because trust me, it's something, if it's not in our head, if it's not embedded in our mind how things work, the closer the exam comes, the more confusion we will have, because it's not something that we can literally just cram and memorize. Because suppose we have studied about sensitivity, specificity, we know the rules, we know the theories, the formula that just put true positive plus true negative divided by true positive and all the stuffs, we can know that. But what if it is given in a bar chart, and then you are asked to kind of figure out the specificity and sensitivity from there? So it's all about the concept. The concept is really necessary. So I felt that in order to make sure that I have a good concept of admin, sorry, I have a good concept of stat. I made sure that I understood it at least 3 months before and then revise every weekend. And for admin, it's technically actually more to memorize, but you have to understand that as well. So as I mentioned, after the SCA was done, maybe I just did not do any admin and stat the last week before my SCA, but after the SCA was done, I started doing that again. But in that 2 weeks of AKT after the SCA was done, I I made sure that I am doing one mock every day. At least I'm doing one mock every day. So I was doing that, and what I found out is you can do from mock from anywhere, but when I did GP self test, the feedback I got there, the my score there actually matched with my real result. So I got 79% almost. So I was also getting 80% in GP self test. So I don't know if that helps, if that info helps, but that's how I prepared. In short, I hope it was really helpful for everyone, and I am more than happy to answer any questions. So it will be on my YouTube channel, and I'm not going to ask you to subscribe my channel and stuff. I'm just doing it so that if anyone finds it helpful, I'll be grateful for that, because I got help from so many people. Just wanted to let you know, even after this, if you have any queries, feel free to pop in on the comment section. And if again I'm too lazy, if I find time or if I notice any of the comments, I'll try my best to answer them. And thank you everyone, and good luck to all. I hope no one comes into that situation like me, when you have to clear both of the exams together, because there is no other way. But obviously it is really recommended that you can give the exams at least in close proximity, like maybe 2-3 months, because what happens, the knowledge from AKT really helps you in your CKs. Thank you all.